converted, I'd always been a really spiritual person, and that's what people say when they don't know how to express. You know what I mean? So basically, religion is how to take your spirituality and actually put it in practice. You know what I mean? I was always in search of something, and when I came across Islam, that was the thing that really worked for me. There were also, along with me believing it, there also were other realities too. That if I'm honest, you know, I was in the hood, and people in the hood respect Islam, and if you really live that life, people in you know, in the ghetto, the inner city, whatever you want to call it, you know, they have a real respect for genuine Muslims. And so, you know, there was my friends were being murdered, and like my friends were selling crack to each other's parents, and my friends were, you know, having sex with drug addicts for free drugs when I was like 13. You know what I mean? And so that life was really terrifying to me, but that's the life that we were in, you know. But I always knew that I wasn't supposed to be engaged in that. That these people are my community, and so I'm not supposed to leave them. But how do I leave those activities without leaving them in a way that they would respect? Because they had to know that I wasn't judging them. And the thing about Islam, especially then, but it's still true now, is that I can believe that, you know, I can not smoke weed, and I can not drink, and I can not sell drugs, and still be with you, and it's not that I still love you. I'm just accepting something different from my life, you know what I mean? And people respected that, you know. So that was a big part of it. And then also the racial reality of Islam. You know, that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the leaders in Islam have been really specific about addressing the equality of races. You know, that Islam also has a, you know, the same way that Christianity is based around Jesus, and, you know, Buddhism is based around the Buddha and stuff. In Islam, there's a lot more detailed information known about the life of Muhammad. And we consider Muhammad, peace be upon him, to be from the same family of prophets as Jesus and other, you know, all the major prophets are from the same group. But the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, we know so many details about his life. The seerah is his life example. So his biography, the prophetic biography, is the seerah, and then the hadith are the prophetic narrations and sayings. So, you know, the idea that, like, I want to pray, but how do I pray? And the prayer for the Muslims, when you read in the Gospels, is really similar to the prayer of Jesus, the kneeling and the prostrating and the bowing, and the washing, you know what I mean? To say, okay, I want to pray to God, but how do I do that? How do I specifically do that? And Islam was really good for me because those things are known and preserved from Prophet Muhammad. And then also, you know, I want to purify myself to get in a state of where I feel worthy to approach God like that, in that formal way. And so that was in there, and you know, things like manners. You know what I mean? You know, how do I talk to a person? How do I greet a person? How do I, you know, these really specific things of, like, if we had those about Jesus, it would be wonderful to know. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, if you could really sit and have volumes of books of how did Jesus drink water? I mean, like, what would that do to your heart if you knew that? Yeah. You would drink water like that every time.
Lately I changed, nowadays I embrace it all. Beautiful ideals and amazing flaws. Gotta care enough to give a testament about the deeply depressed mess we're in. It's home, so we better make the best of it.